This is Yamoto Japanese Whisky, the Takeda Shingen edition. One of the most interesting bottles and packaging that you're going to see anywhere. And this is Nathan. He loves all things Japanese. What? So this is not an inexpensive bottle of whiskey at all. But I wanted to figure out, well, is it any good? Is it worth the price? So we got to compare it against something. So what are we going to compare it against? Well, first of all, we're going to use the Great Whiskey Challenge Kit. And we're going to compare it against a known, also beautiful bottle, but very good whiskey that most of you are going to be familiar with. Hibiki Japanese Harmony. And Nathan's going to be here to try and figure out which one he likes the best and just add in an extra perspective. So let's get it started. All right, so we poured out the two whiskeys with the Great Whiskey Challenge Kit. I got them tagged. I have put them in the same order, so I'm cheating here a little bit. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to tell the difference between these anyway. So, but Nathan has no idea which is which. Yep. So we're just going to do tasting and compare the two. So why don't you grab the one on your right. All right, smell it first. So what are you getting?
Smells sweet, very flowery, almost like a gin and tonic is what it smells like to me.
It does have a gin character to it.
Very botanical, I'd say.
So both of these whiskeys are finished with Mizunara oak. So the Hibiki Harmony is 86 proof, the Yamoto is 80 proof, but they both have Mizunara oak to them. The Hibiki's probably got some sherry influence in it. So there might be some differences on it, but I don't know, for me, on that first one, you're right, this is very much a gin-like quality. Like a pine, I mean, I'm kind of getting a light pine oaky note, probably that Mizunara. Kind of perfumey. I think that's what you're getting in the gin.
Yeah.
Maybe a perfumey, kind of citrusy, maybe a tiny bit of vanilla. But it's super light.
Citrusy, that's true, yep.
Yeah, super light. I'm mostly getting just kind of that perfumey, gin perfuminess and light oak. All right.
Definitely tastes sweet, I'd say. Sweet, a little citrusy. It does taste a little bit like the gin, like we talked about on the nose. It does have a bit of that flavor that I noticed. It just tastes very, I guess, flowery is a word you could use for it.
Yeah, it's floral. All I'm getting is kind of a buttery, lot of Mizunara influence. Kind of a buttery vanilla biscuit. But you're right, the nose is like, it's almost gin.
Yeah.
It's almost like an oaky gin. And the finish is super short on that one.
It is.
It's just, it finishes with just the oak. It dissipates pretty quick.
Yeah, it's like you're drinking gin and it was aged in an oak barrel. That's what it tastes like.
All right, fair enough. So what about the other one?
All right, let's see the other one. Oh, that's interesting. It smells a lot more like a traditional scotch, I'd say.
Very floral. A lot more floral than the other one. Kind of light oak.
A little
on the
bit.
nose.
It has a little bit of a strong start to it. I don't know what that flavor coming through would be.
It's a little honey.
Yeah,
to it,
and
and
kind of sweet.
Kind of a chocolatey smokiness. There's a tiny bit of smoke in there, which isn't uncommon with Japanese. I definitely get the sherry influence. I think that's what that kind of sweet, floral, fruity note is in there. It's kind of a sherry. You can definitely get the oakiness.
Yeah.
Again, the Mizunara, but not as strong as the first one. Not as present and as forward as the first one.
Yeah, it definitely has a bit of a fruit note to it, I'd say. Sweet.
A little orange. Or citrus of some kind, maybe orange.
A little bit of sweetness. I think the Yamoto is a little sweeter though.
So do you think that this one is the...
I think this is the Yamoto and this is the Hibiki.
Okay, so the question then being, before I tell you for sure if you know which one is which one is better.
What I think is the Hibiki, I think is better. This one's better. It feels more well-rounded. This feels like, while it has sweet notes and it does taste good, the front end of it tastes like a lower shelf alcohol, I'd say. This feels a lot more sophisticated, a lot more well-rounded. The flavors blend a lot better. This feels like you're getting, 3 separate stages, and the front stage doesn't feel as refined as the other ones.
Okay, so let's reveal what they are. So, look at the bottom of your left glass. What letter you got?
I have B.
Okay, so you nailed it. The left glass is the Hibiki Harmony. The right glass is the Yamoto. Here's the problem with the Yamoto. The Yamoto definitely has a lot less complexity. Now, if you want to find out what Mizunara oak tastes like, If you want to find out what influence does Mizunara oak put on a whiskey, that's a great way to do it. It's very Mizunara oak. I think that medicinal herbiness that you're getting that's coming across as gin is probably an influence of the Mizunara oak. It's definitely grain forward. There's a little bit of malt in there. There's a lot of grain forwardness in it. It doesn't have much of a finish to it. And unfortunately, as beautiful as the bottle is, it's a very expensive bottle. I think it's probably one of those examples of a pretty good whiskey in a really, really great packaging that's grabbing people's attention off the shelf. I mean, this bottle is 80 proof and well over $100.
Yeah, it's a cool statement piece. It's cool to have out. And I definitely think after the initial taste, the whiskey's great. It's just that initial part kind of ruins it for the price, I feel like. At the price point it's at, there's quite a bit of better options, and Hibiki is below the price point, and I think it is quite better.
So Mizunara oak is not an inexpensive thing to deal with. It's a difficult oak to deal with. You have to let them grow for a very long time. They're not easy to make into barrel staves, so there's a value to Mizunara oak. But if you take away the fancy packaging on this, you definitely do not have an over $100 whiskey. I think that's probably a $60 or $70 whiskey if you take away the packaging.
Yeah, 50 to 60.
Yeah, something like that. Whereas the Hibiki Harmony runs about, $75 or $80 now? Mm-hmm. But the Hibiki Harmony is a classic for a reason. It's very well known for a reason. It's extremely well rounded. You get the influences of the Mizunara oak in there, and you definitely can pick up on them, especially drinking it next to the Yamoto. Because this is so Mizunara oak all the way through, which is not a bad thing. Great influences from Mizunara oak. You just need more to go with it.
Yes.
And I think the sherry finishing on this also a blended whiskey, so you do get some of the grain, you do get some of the malt. You get a little more of the malt come through on the Hibiki because there is some of that smoky kind of dark chocolate note on it. And the differences in the finish is just astonishing.
Yeah, the finish. Yeah, the Yamato has barely anything, and the Hibiki stays with you for a while.
I can still, I can still taste the Hibiki right now as we speak, and the Yamoto is long gone. So, again, the Yamoto bottle is probably one of the coolest bottles that you're going to see. You see them all over the place. They bring big money. They come in a great box. I'm going to say, unless you want to put it as a statement piece on your bar, this is not worth buying for the cost of it. It's just, unless you're not going to open it, you're just going to put it on your shelf. It's a beautiful bottle. I'm actually going to donate it to Nathan after we're done videoing here. It's not bad. It's a good Japanese whiskey, but absolutely does not match the packaging, in my opinion. On the flip side, the Hibiki Harmony has got one of the most beautiful bottle designs that there are. There's a lot of thought put into the bottle, and it's also a really, really beautiful and delicious Japanese whiskey. Hands down better than the Yamato,
hands down,
for a lot less money.
Exactly. For the price, it's a no-brainer to go with the Hibiki. Like you said, unless you're just going to let the Yamato bottle sit on the shelf. It's a cool statement piece, but
it's all metal. I mean, it's very, very cool. So now what do we do with what's left of the Yamato? Are you going to drink it all, or should we pour it back in the bottle?
Probably just pour it back in the bottle.
You can't pour it back in the bottle. You're going to have to drink it all. So to the young, go the overflows. I'll stick with the Hibiki Harmony. So there you go. There is the Yamoto. I'm sure I'm butchering the name of that, but the Shingen edition. And one of my favorite Japanese whiskey, the Hibiki Japanese Harmony. If you have not had Hibiki Japanese Harmony, I think this is an absolute must-have for your shelves. It is an absolute go-to for Japanese whiskey as far as the experience and the price and all the things you get. It's really, really beautiful to look at, and it's really, really beautiful to drink. If you haven't had it, what are you waiting for? Go out and get it. But there you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm Conrad. This is Nathan. This is Whiskeybonded. Japanese whiskey content. How unusual is that? We don't do a lot of that, but there you go. And in long form content.